The emergency alert told us not to look outside. The emergency alert hit every phone in town at 1:13 a.m. I remember the exact time because the sound woke me instantly. That horrible alarm. Loud enough to make your heart stop. At first I thought it was a tornado warning. Then I looked at the screen. Emergency alert. Remain inside. Lock all doors and windows immediately. Do not look outside. Do not respond to voices. Further instructions will follow. That was it. No explanation. No weather warning. Nothing. My wife sat up beside me, rubbing her eyes. What is that? I read the alert aloud. The moment I finished, another notification appeared. This is not a test. Outside, the neighborhood was completely silent. No cars. No sirens. Nothing. Which was strange because our town was never quiet. Even at night, you'd usually hear traffic somewhere in the distance. But now, nothing. My wife nervously laughed. This has to be fake. Then came the knocking. 3 slow knocks at the front door. Not aggressive. Almost polite. We froze. Another 3 knocks. Then a man's voice calmly said, "Open the door, please." I immediately felt cold all over. The voice sounded wrong somehow. Not distorted. Too calm. Like a computer trying to sound human. My wife whispered, "Who is that?" I looked through the peephole before I could stop myself. And I wish I hadn't. There was a man standing on our porch smiling directly at the door. Not at the peephole. At the door itself. Like he knew I was there. His face looked pale under the porch light. Too pale. And his smile. It stretched wider than a normal smile should. The voice spoke again. "Please let me inside." I stepped away from the door immediately. Then my phone buzzed again. "Do not look at them." A strange fear settled into my stomach. Not panic. Recognition. Like some part of my brain already knew we were in danger. The man outside stopped talking. For a full minute, there was only silence. Then scratching started against the front door. Slow. Deliberate. Like fingernails dragging across wood. My wife started crying quietly. I grabbed the kitchen knife, even though I knew it wouldn't matter. Then all the lights outside our house shut off at once. The porch light, street lights, neighbors' lights, everything. The entire neighborhood disappeared into darkness. That's when the screaming began. Far away at first. Then closer. Multiple people. I heard someone shouting for help outside. A woman screaming hysterically. Then suddenly cut off. Silence again. My phone buzzed a 3rd time. "If you hear your name, do not answer." Almost immediately after reading it, I heard my mother's voice outside. "Daniel?" My blood turned to ice. My mother lived 3 states away. The voice came again from outside the living room window. "Daniel, let me in." My wife grabbed my arm hard enough to hurt, because she heard it too. Then came another voice. "My brother. Dead for nearly 10 years. Open the window." The thing outside laughed softly after saying it. Not my brother's laugh. Something trying and failing to imitate one. I backed away from the window. That's when movement caught my eye outside. Shapes walking through the neighborhood. Tall figures moving slowly house to house. Stopping at doors. Knocking. Waiting. Every now and then, screams erupted from another home. Then silence. My wife whispered, "What are they?" I didn't answer, because one of them had stopped in our yard. Even in the dark, I could see it clearly somehow. Tall. Extremely thin. Its arms nearly reached its knees. And its face. No eyes. No nose. Just that enormous smile carved across white skin. Then it tilted its head upward toward our bedroom window. Toward us. My phone buzzed violently again. "Do not let them know you can see them." Too late. The creature smiled wider. Then suddenly sprinted toward the house. I've never seen anything move that fast. It slammed against the front door hard enough to shake the walls. My wife screamed. Another impact hit the side of the house. Then another. The things outside began circling us rapidly. Scratching. Pounding. Laughing. And mixed among those sounds, human voices. People begging for help. Children crying. Family members calling names. All fake. All wrong. Then came a new alert. Remain silent. They are attracted to acknowledgement. We turned off every light in the house. Neither of us moved. Outside, footsteps circled endlessly for what felt like hours. Then around dawn, everything stopped. No scratching, no voices, no movement, just silence. Eventually, sunlight crept through the blinds. Birds started chirping again. Cars in the distance. Normal. Carefully, I looked outside. The street was empty, but every house on our block had their front doors standing open. Police arrived later that morning.
So, did the military?
Nobody explained anything. The news claimed it was a mass panic event, but they never said why dozens of people disappeared overnight, or why security cameras across town mysteriously failed between 1:13 a.m. and sunrise. Before leaving, one exhausted-looking officer quietly told me something I'll never forget. He said this wasn't the first time it had happened, just the first time it reached a populated area. I asked him what the creatures were. He stared at me for a second, then asked, "Did they speak to you?" I nodded slowly. The officer looked genuinely disturbed. Then he whispered, "They usually only imitate the dead after they've already eaten someone." That was 8 months ago. Last night, another emergency alert appeared on my phone. Only 3 words this time. "They remember you."